Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at the Gothamist. The new bill to restrict toxic forever chemicals could help heal the Hudson Valley water supply. So what would it do and how would it help? Let's take a look. Lawmakers took a major step last month to curb toxic chemicals that pollute the water of cities and towns across America. If it passes in the U.S. Senate, the new bill will usher in federal law to regulate forever chemicals in air and drinking water. The legislation could bring vital funding and cleanups to affected Hudson Valley communities like the city of Newburgh. On July 21st, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a bill that would designate two persistent chemicals, PFOA and PFOS, as hazardous substances, and set a long-awaited national standard for drinking water. The compounds are most studied in a group of thousands of PFAs, short for PFA and perfluoroalkyl substances, known as forever chemicals, because they don't break down in the environment, and they can take years to leave the human body. They're so widespread that most Americans have some level of PFAs in their blood. So a lot of people would say, well, that's bad, but maybe it's not affecting me because I have well water, or maybe I'm in this city or that city, or I have a water filter or something like that. It still could potentially be affecting you. The Newburgh water is found contaminated with elevated levels of PFAs in 2016. The chemicals were later traced back to PFAs containing fire foam at the nearby Stewart Air National Guard base. It's a step in the right direction, said Newburgh Mayor Torrance Harvey. Last year, New York State set a maximum containment level, or MCL, of 10 parts per trillion of PFOA and PFOS in drinking water. And for context, in 2016, the city's lake reservoir tested with PFAs 170 parts per trillion, more than twice the Environmental Protection Agency's current health advisory level. Months later, blood tests showed Newburgh's residents had almost 4 times the amount of PFOs in their blood as the general U.S. population. So this is a huge problem, and even if you think it's not affecting you, it very well may be. Humans are exposed to PFAs through food, dust, drinking water, and products that contain them, and they're found in everything from makeup and dental floss to carpets and paper-to-go boxes, and they've been linked to certain cancers. And that's exactly how it got into our bodies in the city of Newburgh, said the mayor, referring to a stream that carries PFAs from the airbase into the city's drinking water reservoir at Washington Lake. Because of their resistance to heat, oil, water, PFA chemicals are highly valued in construction, aerospace, the military, and other industries. They take a great deal of time to break down and to be released from our bodies, said Dr. Erin Bell, an environmental epidemiologist at the University at Albany School of Public Health. It has to do with the chemistry and the shape of the chemical. She was speaking about the super-strength carbon fluoride bond found in PFAS molecules. The bonds are very difficult to break, she said, noting that PFOA and PFOS can have half-lives that range from 2 to more than 20 years in humans. What makes them good for manufacturing and for the industry makes them bad for the environment and our bodies, in the sense that it takes a long time for them to degrade, Bell said. The exposure has been linked to serious health problems, high cholesterol, liver damage, decreased vaccine response, low birth weight, kidney cancer, and testicular cancer, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. They have the capacity to impact the human system, Bell said. Studies also suggest PFAs can adversely affect thyroid function. Harvey hopes to eventually see a full cleanup of the airbase. I would ask the federal government to completely remediate the source of this contaminant, clean up our lake, ban these chemicals, and provide reparations and compensation to those of us who have had exposure to this. The bill sets aside $200 million a year through the 2026 in assistance for publicly owned water utilities. It forms a grant funding program that gives priority to disadvantaged communities like Newburgh, with more than a quarter of its population living in poverty. So will this help Newburgh? It definitely looks like it can do a lot of great things for it. Can it help heal the Hudson Valley? It looks like it can. But it's always a good idea, since these have been in the water for a long time and they cause a lot of health issues, to have your water periodically tested for forever chemicals.